Before I begin, I'd like to thank Representative Louis Gomart, Republican from Texas, and Chastine Hulsey from his office, who did all of the arrangements, and also Paul Teller from the Republican Study Group, who's helped get the word out. I see we have wonderful friends here from both sides of the aisle, and I'm delighted to have you. Also, before we begin, I think it's only appropriate if we were to take just a minute or two of silence in memory of those Americans, those almost 3,000 Americans who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001. I think by now most of you have heard and seen everything there is to hear and to say about September 11th, except for this aspect, which is possibly the most critical, and it is about the Saudi buying of the American mind and the Saudi penetration into so many aspects of our American national infrastructure. They have been much, much more stealth, much more calculating, and certainly much more cunning and intelligent than most of us in the Jewish community have been, and many of us in the West have been. Hold on one second. I'd like to just talk to you, give an unabashed plug to this book, which I just got the first galleys for, which is going to be put out by Palgrave Macmillan at the end of October. And many of our panelists here are esteemed, brilliant panelists, such as Frank Gaffney, Rachel Ehrenfeld, Deborah Weiss, many others have submitted chapters, as well as James Woosley, Daniel Pipes, Lenny Ben-David, talking about all of the incredible showering of wealth in this country, over $79 billion to universities within the last 2 decades. I would just like to say that for more than 30 years, just reading a bit from my preface, spanning successive American administrations from Jimmy Carter to Barack Obama, we've been hearing Saudi Arabia described over and over again as our moderate Arab ally in the Muslim world. That plaudit has expanded more recently to our moderate Arab ally in the war on terrorism. On December 6, 2010, with gratitude to that ignoble personage of Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, a story appeared on the front pages of the New York Times. Referring to the U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, it reported that a classified memo had been sent last December by Mrs. Clinton, making it clear that residents of Saudi Arabia and its neighbors, all allies of the United States, are the chief financial supporters of most extremist activities. Quote, "It has been an ongoing challenge to persuade Saudi officials to treat terrorist financing emanating from Saudi Arabia as a strategic priority," the cable said, concluding that donors in Saudi Arabia constitute the most significant source of funding to Sunni terrorist groups worldwide. While the WikiLeaks cable brought to the front pages of the Times, what it brought to the front pages of the Times, rather, many of us have known about for quite some time. In June of 2007, Stuart Levy, Undersecretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence with the U.S. Treasury, said in an ABC News interview, "If I could snap my fingers and cut off the funding from one country, it would be Saudi Arabia."